Okay, good afternoon and good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's well. I'm Kevin Ogrodnik, Vice President of Corporate Development of Gimmal, and with me I have Mark Johnson, the CEO of Gimmal, and Chris Kappinger, the President of Gimmal too. We're excited to be here today, and I'm glad everyone can join us too to tell you about what's happened with Sherpa and Gimmal over the past year and how we've worked together and how we look forward to moving together forward too. So. We've actually worked with Gimmal over the past 12 months. We've had a close partnership where they've OEM'd Altitude, which most of you know of. And so we've worked with Mark and Chris and the teams, and we've come together through a merger to be able to offer you guys more resources, more scale, and yet be small enough to provide you the white glove service that we provided our customers over the years. So we're excited about this opportunity, and I think you guys will be excited about it too. And so today we're here to give you a little background on what's happened and also to answer any of your questions as it relates to the merger and what might happen going forward too. And the one thing I will say that the contacts you have now are going to continue. So you'll see the people that you've seen from Sherpa through the years. And if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, myself, Chris, or Mark, as we're here to answer any questions. So with that, I'm going to turn it over and let Mark give you some background on Gimmal.
All right, cool. Thanks, Kevin. And just to sort of add on to what Kevin was saying, I had a chance to go up and meet the Sherpa team for a good portion of it yesterday in Pittsburgh. And there's just such a great, call it cultural or team fit. It's as if we were meant to be together. Top to bottom, left to right, the organization is just a really good fit, and Kevin's done a really nice job of building his team. Just a little bit of housekeeping. There is a Q&A button, I believe, so if you have questions, please submit them through Q&A, and if we can answer them, we will at the end of the prepared remarks. This session will be recorded, and you will get an email with a link to the recording. So you can come back and reference it later or share it with a friend. And then also, if you need help, probably the best way to do that is through Q&A as well. All right. This is going to be a little bit more informal than one of our typical webinars. First of all, Chris, Kevin, and I are not professional presenters. And second of all, this is really about getting to know you and you getting to know us. So that we can continue our relationship the way Kevin has built it. So a little bit about Gimmal. So we've been around almost 20 years. We are in Houston, Texas, although we do have offices in St. Louis, Calgary, and now Pittsburgh, or Carnegie, as I learned how to pronounce it. Our background, so if you think about the information governance landscape, for example, Sherpa came at it more from the discovery side. We come at it more from the records and information management side. And as I'll get to it in a couple of slides, we've got a portfolio of solutions that work well together and really focus on solving your information governance problems. We're really proud of the combined customer base that we've got. These are a few of Gimmal Select customers, but there are hundreds of Sherpa customers out there that we're really happy to add to the family. Now, in terms of Gimmal, we're not a traditional records management company, although we do have our roots in records management, and we're not traditional in that we don't have a proprietary repository like one of the legacy ECM providers. So as a result, we identify more as an information governance company. And if you look on the internet, there are probably dozens of definitions of information governance, and they all sort of adopt the same principles or terms. But we've got our own take on information governance, and we think it resonates well with consumers and producers of information. And over the course of the last 19 years, we've learned that information governance can be described as balancing the value of having information with the associated risk of having such information. Because, it's no news that we're in the digital age, and well-run organizations must have information available at their fingertips. And having the information is valuable. It provides for better customer service, better marketing, better support, as well as providing a single source of the truth. But it also provides organizational and financial risk as well. When you think about content sprawl, balancing accessibility with security, discovery risk, and cost ineffectiveness. So we've tackled the information governance problem with a set of solutions that work really well together. And so this is the Gimmal product family lineup, and I'm going to move sort of from left to right. So Gimmal Migrate, it stemmed from our acquisition of ECMWise last year. And what it does is it helps organizations move content from legacy systems like Documentum and Content Server to Microsoft 365. And the differentiator there is we've got the most sophisticated solution that will handle the most complex migration with full auditability to ensure confidence in the outcome. Gimmal Discover is a product family that includes the Sherpa products. Altitude, Discovery Attender, and all the related products are in this product family. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining to you what the products do because likely you already know what they do. Gimmal Link is a great complement to the Gimmal Migrate offering. And what it does is if you're an SAP shop and you need to store transaction-related documents such as invoices, POs, etc., you've got to store them somewhere. And S/4HANA can be expensive, Open Text Content Server can be expensive, but everybody's got SharePoint. And so what Gimmal Link does is it takes that SAP document and it stores it in SharePoint and links it to the transaction in SAP. So this makes the document available to everybody who has SharePoint who needs access to that document, irrespective of whether they have an SAP license. And it ensures full connectivity throughout the entire, or continuity throughout the entire SAP transaction. Gimmal Records is our flagship offering. Chris Kaplan, our Chief Strategy Officer, was founder of a company called Record Lion, which joined the Gimmal family back in 2017. And it serves as the foundation for our strategy of federated or in-place records management. It's a web-based application that manages records and can manage documents in virtually any repository. And because we don't require clients' records be in any repository, it brings flexibility, better ease of use, improved compliance, and better TCO than traditional ECM providers. Then there's finally Gimmal Physical. And this stemmed from our acquisition of Infolinks last year. Think about it. It's warehouses full of boxes, police evidence rooms, etc. Gimmal Physical will manage all of them with the same level of competence and capabilities as we manage electronic records. From barcode labels to space management and planning, we enable our clients to efficiently and effectively manage their entire information lifecycle. So what does all this mean for you? First of all, I think you're going to get, let me get to the next screen, I apologize here. What we're aiming for is continuity of service. You've got relationships. We're in the people business. We like to work with people we like, and I always say we're in the friends business. So a lot of the names and faces that you've known over the years are going to continue, whether it's Kevin, Ball, Marta, Rick, Jeff. They're all coming on board with us and will continue to play key roles in Gimmal going forward. What I think is a real benefit to a lot of the clients is the solutions are complementary. Because we've had a relationship with Sherpa for over a year now, we've done a fair amount of integration already with Gimmal Records. And so if you're using Altitude or Gimmal Discover, you can quickly and easily integrate the Altitude or Discover platform into the Records platform for auto classification and retention of documents. And because now we're part of one, and when you have an OEM relationship, it's like asking a friend for money as opposed to asking your father for money. And what I mean by that is if we had some product integration ideas, it would be put alongside every other product request with all of the client requests and put onto the roadmap. But now, because we're one family, we get to work together to build that product integration. So over time, you will start to see tighter and tighter integration. So what's changing? Actually, I should have started the slide with really what's not changing. In the short term, there's not going to be any change to the support process or access to products for downloads, et cetera. However, over time, we will be integrating into the Gimmal support process, because what that allows us to do is provide a more uniform level of service across our entire customer base, and hopefully increase your client satisfaction. And I mentioned earlier the information governance solutions, the portfolio of solutions. We're going to continue to expand organically and probably through acquisition over time, but we're not going to do it in a haphazard, thoughtless way. I think we've done a fair job of mapping out the information governance landscape and then filling the portfolio with complementary solutions that really address the common set of problems for a common set of buyers. One thing that Kevin mentioned is you'll have more resources. We're nearly 100 employees now, and Sherpa was just over 20. So you've got more resources, not necessarily, Kevin's got a lot of deep expertise, but because of the diversity of our combined experience, we've got more resources that know a broader set of answers to a broader set of problems. And in terms of contacts, in the short term, the Sherpa emails are going to continue to stay active, and so continue to reach out to who you know. Over time, we're going to, and we will communicate with you changes that are going to be coming in terms of support processes, support portals, etc. I do not expect that to happen in the second quarter. I expect that to happen probably in the third quarter. So, who are your contacts at Gimmal? Well, you've got, by the way, Chris Kaplinger goes by Cappy, so if I say Cappy, that's who I mean. So you've got Cappy, Kevin, and myself, of course, and you've got the entire Sherpa team. One thing that we've got at Gimmal is we've got an account management function so that we can ensure sort of your quarterback, call it the quarterback of your Gimmal team. And they'll be reaching out to you in the coming days and weeks just for an introduction so that you have another name, another hopefully face and phone number to call. We do have a full support team and a client success team of nearly 25 people who are well-versed in everything records and information management, as well as installing, configuring products, and advising on information governance topics. There are a couple of key contacts here, sales at Gimmal.com, support at Gimmal.com, and of course, you've got our emails here. All right. Kevin, did I miss anything?
No, I think you said it well. Thanks, Mark. I think I'll just reiterate what Mark said about the teams. I think that's part of the reason why this works so well is that, in getting to know the Gimmal team and what the Sherpa team represents, we just felt like it was a great match and it could help both organizations. So we were pretty happy with it, and hopefully, like we said, you guys will see some. I think you got pretty good service in the past, and you'll see even more service in the future as well. Okay, good.
All right, we've got a couple of questions. I know we're about halfway through the allotted time, and so if you have questions, please put them up there on the Zoom meeting. First question is: we are a Sherpa e-discovery customer. Gimmal's background and focus seems to be IG. Where do you see the development of e-discovery products and services going forward? And Chris, that's probably best directed to you.
Yeah, it's definitely me, Mark. Yep. So that's a great question. And I think what's interesting is, and Mark had mentioned it earlier about the fact that we already integrate, or the Gimmal already integrates sort of with the Sherpa platform, because we've been OEMing the software for quite a while now. Where we actually plan on going with this is taking the e-discovery a little bit further and integrating the legal hold part of this with our Gimmal Records product. So the main thing is when you put something on hold or something's under litigation, even though you may have it preserved, you may have copied it somewhere, typically you don't go through a disposition process on that data as well. So we'll integrate those two together. So things that you actually put on hold through the Altitude platform will also be prevented from going through disposition on the normal Gimmal Records management platform. So that's, one of the first things I see it, going now, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot more things that we add to the platform as well. And one thing I should probably mention as well is I know Sherpa over the last year or so has been adding a lot of other sources, the ability to look at a lot of other sources. That's going to continue. Really, Gimmal, our whole concept is, and Mark had mentioned this, is not having our own repository. So our ideal is that we're reaching into other repositories. So that's a big deal for us, and we plan to continue to expand that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Mark, and I'll grab, most of these are probably mine, so I'll just keep going through the questions.
Okay, cool.
The next one is, are you a direct competitor to Varonis? Interesting enough, I would say that Sherpa was probably more of a direct competitor of Varonis than Gimmal was. Gimmal really wasn't competing with Varonis before, but since Sherpa and Varonis have had very similar technologies, and really they were competitors before, that is going to continue, I suspect. Kevin, would you have anything to add to that?
No, you said it perfect, Chris, is that we do run into Varonis, but yeah, we matched up with Varonis and have, taken advantage of some deals with Varonis too as well.
Right. And then the next question I see on here is Discovery Attender sunsetting? Definitely not. There's a couple things on Discovery Attender. One of them is for Exchange and one of them is for Lotus Notes. The one for Exchange, we're actually planning on to keep not just having it and selling it, but to keep expanding on it as well. I know there was just a release of it last week. The Lotus Notes side of things, we'll likely continue it as long as we have customers using Lotus Notes. More and more of our clients are moving away from Lotus and moving into Exchange. So at some point, there probably won't be anybody left, and at that point, we'll sunset that as well. But as long as you're still using Lotus on the Discovery Attender product, we plan to continue to support that.
And then the main Discovery Attender will continue.
What's that, Mark?
I'm sorry?
Say that again. I didn't hear what you said.
So the flagship Discovery Attender product will continue.
Yeah, well, in the Discovery Attender, there's a Discovery Attender for Exchange and a Discovery Attender for Lotus, and I wasn't sure which one the question was directed at. But that's the one for Lotus Notes is still supported. We're probably not going to be adding a whole lot of new features to it, if any, but we're going to continue to support it. The Discovery Attender for Exchange, we'll actually continue to advance that into the distant future. I don't see an end to that anytime. Not in the crystal ball I have.
Yeah, I mean, our ultimate objective, be fully transparent, is for everybody to get on the Altitude/Discover platform.
Absolutely.
Right? But we also understand that that's not possible for everyone. So we will do what we can to make it compelling, to move to the SaaS-based platform, but we will continue to support the on-premise platform as well.
Mark, and that's a good point in general, I think, to mention is that most of our products have an on-premises version of them. So we kind of look at Discovery Attender as the on-premises version of what was Sherpa Altitude, which is now going to be Discover. So most of our products do have an on-premises perpetual type model. Some of them don't because they're just sort of built from the cloud from the ground up. But yeah, that's we understand there's a lot of cases where it's just not possible to use the cloud, and we'd like you to be our client just as much.
Absolutely. Okay, that's all the questions we have on the Zoom meeting. If there are any further questions, you certainly have Kevin's email address. But Chris and I are happy to, if we can't answer your question, we will ensure that somebody who can answer it will get back to you. We try to be as responsive as the Sherpa organization in terms of responding to our clients. Meanwhile, you should expect in the coming days and weeks your account manager to reach out, make an introduction, and continue the relationship.
Right. Yeah, Mark, and just to mention that too, is, on contacts, and you kind of mentioned it earlier that, if you were talking to Marta before or Rick before or whoever it was, don't, reach out with them with the questions as well. So, don't, they're still there, and they're going to help you just as much as they always have.
Yeah. Cool. We just got a comment. Absolutely love Discovery Tender for Exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've heard that a lot. So, which is why we're going to keep on keeping on with that platform.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, if there are no further questions, I don't see any need to take any more of your time today. We just wanted to make an introduction and hopefully put voices to names and companies, and hopefully get some personality conveyed across the Zoom meeting. We all hope you have a great afternoon and continue to have a great week. Thank you so much.